Twitch ads finally ended, so we can now exist. Hold on. Ooh. That all worked. What's up? We're here today. Everyone I know is at too many games, basically. So for the rest of us, we're hanging out. We're at all our friends are at a convention, and I guess we'll just sit home and watch stage. So I'm gonna stream some to try and forget about it. Gosh dang it. Hope we're all well. We are here for gaming. Still need to close like 30 things. Hold on. And I need to go down here. No. There we go. Okay. See Justin on. What's up? I don't have a set plan. I'm getting to the point where I should have a set plan when I come in here. I didn't. Oh, we need to replace our Vampy for one thing. Alright, we need to replace Vampy. That feels like a good goal to set out on. Did I not catch Hoppip? I never caught Hoppip. Really? I think we talked about Hoppip last stream. Okay, well. I think we roughly have this figured out here then. Zelda hopping the old FTCR! FTCR! Why are we shouting FTCR? Woo! Okay. Ah! I set my time to Wednesday. Because my chicken scratch post-it note did not work until 10 minutes ago. And then I didn't write down 4,000 coins. And I forgot about that. And I was like, you know, we're good. We're good. I can't show off the badges we have because we can't see Kanto's badges, but we have them down below. I think today we can at least beat those 3 gyms and then be good. The stripes look good. Yes, it is Yakuza Drip. It finally came back in stock at insert coin. Quite expensive. But I needed it. There was no not having it, basically. So I am even more of a shill than I was 2 days ago. I guess we can go cycling road and scoop up back around, right? It's like the striped set in Animal Crossing. Oh my gosh. Now we're talking. I'm in full fast forward mode, by the way. I'm kind of like, whatever, you know? I need to make a decision. We have Caesar. We accidentally... Wait, no, we want him for the gym. Cycling Road has Slugma. Slugma. Okay. 37777. Let's get some balls. Am I winning? I'm always winning. I love to win. I should have some Pokeballs, you know? Just to have them, right? That would probably make sense. And 30 Great Balls? Sure. It is Sonic's birthday. Happy birthday, Sonic. I thought about streaming Sonic today, but I didn't really. I haven't bought Origins Plus. The Frontiers update isn't out, and Nick's streaming the Frontiers update. Oh, I don't want to step on Nick. And then I was like, you know, I should make more Pokemon progress. Maybe someday I'll acknowledge Sonic's existence again, though. In honor of Sonic, we should Arcanine to level 50 to earn extreme speed. I'm listening. That didn't go down. I hope everyone has been logging into Phantasy Star Online 2 daily to get the Sonic drops, by the way. I want Slugma. Where are you? You're not what I want. What? Fuck this stream, need to play PSO2. We could load it up. I'm not going to, but we could load it up. I haven't played PSO2 in earnest in probably a year and a half, 2 years. I just log in anytime there's like a Sonic item that they give away, so I'm bad at time management. Why put David's Sonic Origin stream on YouTube? That's up to David? That was on his Twitch. I'm not sure if he archived it or not. I don't remember. We were up until it was like 5:30 a.m. our time. Over here at least, not his time. So, by the end of the night, I was just like, I need to go lie down mode. It might be on the Twitch, just unpublished, because Twitch's default is to unpublish VODs, but it might still be there? You know what I mean? That's, yeah, you might have to poke David, and then he might turn back around and poke me on that. If I can remember, I'll ask him after the stream what's up with that. He played Bubsy by the end. I had to look at Bubsy, the penultimate Bubsy, for longer than I wanted to the other night. Is it the Woolly Strike Back, or was that the last one? Paws on Fire, I think was the last one, right? We went so late that, Medic from France woke up and joined in chat, and I was like, alright, if you're waking up and tuning in, we are going too long. Yeah, the recent one. The recent new ones. It was like the first one of those, I think. There's a Slugma. Oh, you look gross. It's not advisable to throw Caesar out. Great, okay. We're not weakening with Arcanine. Orion? Got a lot of fire weakness on this current team, I'm realizing. I'm gonna have to address that before we get to Blaine. Okay, there we go. There's no abilities, so I don't have to worry about contact burn or anything. Guess I should ask. I haven't played Origins Plus. If anyone has, how's Amy? I got no idea. Saw a lot of people complain. I saw a lot of people say she's great. So that's kind of exactly what I expected. Alright, that's good. That was an epic solo on complete accident. Wow. Ah! We did it! Just remember something I'm gonna have to do immediately after. I didn't switch away from the PC box. Okay, we're doing okay, look at that. Slower but more aggressive Sonic. That makes sense. I was hearing something about the drop dash being weird. I wasn't really completely following it. Double jump to do hammer attack that's like an insta shield with a big radius. How are drop dashes like that? Okay, that sounds a little bit like what you see in Superstars then. That makes sense. I'll have Gengar with me. Right. Great ball! Slugma has eyes like Rocco's Modern Life. Okay, I can see it. No! Poopy head. I'm such a poopy head. I am a poopy head. I was fine. I'm in a different box. Gosh darn it. Never mind, we're good. Holy moly. So we have a Slugma. We need to evolve Slugma. Just updating my end here. Oop. Alright, cool. That's the wrong window. What everyone think of the Sonic Central. I was surprised by how many people were expecting like a big announcement at that thing, considering we had a big announcement like a week ago. We had a big we got it. We got it. I like my one more things as much as the next guy, don't get me wrong, but... Yeah. I wanted to use Fire Blast on the gaseous Pokemon. I haven't let myself process how much the ticket prices of the Symphony will be, yeah. I'm guessing they're not up yet, right? Like, you can't just check. I don't think I'd go to Chicago for it, but there's a small part of me that would be like, if you don't go, what if it never comes near you again? FOMO. Oh gosh. Hi. It'll be visible on June 28th if you sign up for the newsletter. Okay. Sure, Jan. Just throwing Pokemon out. I'm curious about their special guest for the performances, because I wouldn't expect June, Johnny, Otani, etc. to be at every performance. I'm like, who are you gonna replace Johnny Giolelli with for Crush 40 song? Are you even going to? Are you gonna do other songs? Like, I'm quite curious how that's coming about. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Hold on. Okay, just want to make sure. Drunken Naganuma. Oh man. I followed that guy. I just thought he was drunk all the time, as is. I can't imagine him actually going drunk. That's a scary thought. on, why not? I was gonna say, if you're at too many games, you at least get to see Johnny Gio Elliott Crush 40 there. But I figure if you're here right now, you're probably not at too many games, so... I think they're streaming that performance, though? You probably need to check his Twitter or Too Many Games' Twitter for that, but I think they're streaming his singing? The last time he performed there, he just brought people up from the crowd to, like, air guitar and air drum and crap, so I guess that might happen? Unless they got session musicians for him, which would be interesting, but... Right. I'm also not there due to financial reasons, so I get it. Joel, Last of Us. Just in case that little bit of microphone was bothering anyone. Exactly, it was fetal on the floor. What more do you want? I know I mentioned it a lot over the years, but it's definitely better than the Tony Harnell performance from that New York Sonic Boom. Goodness. When he was singing, it was fine. But, I love a diva. Where's all the trainers? Is that the best I can do? Surely there's someone else around here. Yeah. He didn't remember the lyrics, which, like, I can't blame someone for who was, you know, not saying those songs in many years, right? Of course that makes sense. I'm sure we'd all agree to that. It was just like the way he had his stagehand move the lyric stand like 2 feet closer to him because he couldn't be bothered to just pick it up and move it toward himself. And he was like a diva about his water bottle and just like everything was just like, oh, you got the wrong attitude for this place full of kids. It was a weird event, really. But he did take a picture with Garrett, so I guess he's not all that bad. Shoot, I keep looking at the thing on the left and going like, oh yeah, that's the order my team's in. Yeah, okay. That worked out. Yeah, no, exactly, right. Like, at this point, I'm convinced anyone in here has listened to those songs more than he has, and even I don't remember the lyrics to that song half the time. So I get it. Birdkeeper Bob. It looks like it's scarfing down a huge cake. Wow, that's it. Speeding them up, thinking we'd get through the health bar quicker, and the second I did, it stopped. Okie dokie. One guy here. Have to look in the tall grass. Bro, I know. Trust me, I've been knowing, Boris. majestic Dodrio. I'm glad the dopey one got the most focus in that sprite. That makes me happy. Let's kill it. Whitebird keepers and bikers look exactly the same. It's not the worst question I've heard. Guess they just all got a soft spot. What's here? What is this again? 18? I need to check if there's something here. It feels like there'd be a random Johto Pokemon here. No, you can find Slugma, but yeah, no. None. Okay. And what about... 13, 14, 15? I'm not switching over, but I'm looking, don't worry. We can find Quagsire at night. At Route 13. It would save us the trouble of raising one, I guess. We can get an Aerodactyl with an in-game trade on Route 14. Or Route 15. You can find Hoppip. Almost 25 to 27. That's actually where we should catch it. Birds in their arms are gone. Oh. If we run into another, I'll have to look at that. Very much. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Right. You just do that for some reason. Oh, right. That's the gimmick. They all look like the gym leader. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. It's unfortunate for, I guess everyone else who had a job there that he just left and no one could take it over. I hope the Pokemon that live there are self-sustaining. Because what the heck? This is the problem with capitalism. Oh my god, he knows what I did. Are your Pokemon as feisty as ever? Is that a thing people say? There's a sub in this game? No. I know the Pewter Gym has something for the spaceship, right? Maybe that was only in Gen 1 games. And none of the Pokemon are even out in the enclosures anymore. How sad. How sad. So my thinking then is... No, I know what you meant. I was just trying to keep it on topic, because... I get it. Rich people bad, but people are really, really fucking mean about that. And I'm just like, oh man. How can I not go into that? Thanks, guy at the gate. Hang on, I had to phone my mom. Anyway, let's battle. Guess. I remembered what I forgot. I forgot to thank the people who followed from last time. Draconic! Here, I'll even play the thing since I forgot for half an hour.
Ice is nice.
Look, you get your knack time on screen. How about that? And Exasperated Ant, thank you for following.
Ice is nice.
Appreciated. Caesar. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I was thinking you were trying to think of, like, how does electric interact with steel? I never use it. I imagine electric is resistant to steel, but I couldn't think of the other way around. But it still worked out. Let's try Heracross. What were phones like in 2000? They did have cell phones. In Japanese Crystal, there was a specific add-on for cell phones, actually. That was how you were supposed to get the GS ball, right? I want to say. Oh my god. I don't have a thing that's strong against steel types. Literally, what was I thinking? It worked out. But, yeah. I don't remember what year it was from. Somewhere around here, I have a Nokia with a, well, antenna. It has Snake on it. Not the oldest cell phone, obviously, but pretty old. Here it doesn't. We have Counter, which won't do us much good with this level gap. Hey, let me look it up and see where we're at on that. Because I think we are going for Mega Horn at this point. Mega Horn at level 54 and Reversal at level 44. And Reversal is the fighting type that I think we're kind of in. Old Nokia Self. Let me see if I can find the one I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, that was easy.
Ice is nice.
And it's doing the thing because I switched scenes. The one on the right here, the one that's, well, the one on the left actually has its lights on. That's why it looks like that. Yeah, I had the one on the right. It's around here somewhere. As you can see, there are, oh, that one just does a different paint job. That's not even older. Huh. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. When you line it up like that, it looks pretty new. I remember it was a thing. Gosh. Couldn't you pay to have a cell phone or something? But it would only go from your car, so you'd have like a huge honking phone as you were driving your car. Wasn't that a thing? Am I cuckoo? I wasn't trusted with a cell phone or smartphone for a long time, so when I could use a phone, I used the one I just showed for quite a while. Let's get Arcanine in here. What are we doing? Yeah, the late 80s, that's what it was. Things went fast. Nowadays, all you hear about this phones is better camera, better battery, but for now, it just... Ooh. Alright, 2 more levels for Reversal then. Pretty stoked for that. Tommy. Oh, that was Swords Dance. Since we haven't used it yet. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Alright, Embryon. You have use. I mean, the Game Boy Color does have that IR sensor on top. The Pokemon trading card game would always tout its little what do they call it? There's some in-game feature for the Pokemon trading card game on Game Boy where like you could point IR sensors at someone else playing the game and you would both get a card or something, and it would always talk about how they're exclusive cards or something tied to that, and I'd always be like, man, no one I know has this game. So that's my main association with the IR sensor. Your phone's a hand-me-down. It was the same way for me for a while. It was that, and then eventually I got upgraded to a Motorola Razr. My dad didn't want anymore. I was just looking at everyone else with like iPhones and stuff going, oh. Joe, what's up? Very few opponents that Caesar can't just one-shot after a sword stance. I like the sound of that. Venusaur card that could give out random status inflictions. And you with a randomized attack. Goodness gracious. Teacher? Is there a teacher class in this game? Really? This must be the first one we've seen. Goodness gracious. MP3 player is another fun subject for me. We got one at, I think it's still the same department store for the mall I'm thinking of. I think it was Belk. It was like a USB plug-in. I forget how much memory I had on it, probably like 128 megabytes or something. It was a voice recorder and an MP3 player, and maybe something else. Like maybe it could pick up AM FM radio or something crazy. I don't think it could do that. I just can't remember what the fourth feature it had was. They got it real cheap. It was like way after anyone would have wanted it. You know, all the new MP3 players and stuff were out by that point. It was neat. You'd have to like flick a thing on the side to change music and then push in and out to enter and exit folders. It was wild using that thing. Yeah, and then eventually I got a Zune? I was a Zune owner? I've never met anyone else who had a Zune, but I sure did have one. I don't know where the hell that thing's at. And like the cherry red Zune or whatever it was. Yeah, Palms Gen 2, yeah. There's another teacher in the SS Sakura going back to Johto. Okay, interesting. I need to take like 20 seconds to do something real quick. I just remembered. 1 second. Well, I stepped away, I looked for it. See if this picks up. Can't really tell, but you'd have to like this little thing here, you'd have to kind of go with that, push it in. Volume control over here. 2 headphone jacks? So you could listen with a friend, I guess. Then there was a lock for, you know, locking in and out. I guess it didn't have a third feature. It's a Dell Star voice recorder digital MP3 player. Neat little thing. I can tell I'm fucked up because I'm streaming with a phone that's a camera and can do a billion things. But something about this is way more interesting to me than that, even though it does like a fraction of that. Ah, that sounds cool. There's a Sonic Quest in Phantasy Star Online 2? Don't tell me that. That's not what I need to hear. A radio accessory for Game Boy Color says just online. That's interesting. There are so many Game Boy accessories from third parties, man. Let's load up PSO2. I'm a little busy, sorry. I'm playing the other hot game from 2000. Gear radio peripheral. That must just eat batteries like Pac-Man. Goodness gracious. Oh, it worked. I was about to over-engineer that fight. Polyworld Micro. Copyright claim for the direct stream, y'all? Did they even play any copyrighted music? It was a video claim. Sounds like Pokemon. That's honestly one half the reasons why why I'm always a little like, do I even care to react to a presentation? Just watch it. Shit post on Discord. We're soaking up all the XP here. There's not a lot to soak up, but we sure are soaking it up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Justin did wake up really early and do that. Sounds like him. Sorry, Bellsprout, I just don't respect you. It's good weeping Bill Spray. I like it. You still make Whitney Houston movies? Huh. How many Pokemon at this point have you not used in the Gen 1 or 2 primary league run team? I'd be surprised if I scratched 30%, honestly. I'm bad about falling into habits. Alright, now we can... Reno... Like, even on this team alone, Caesar, Heracross, Piloswine, and Lantern, I never really used. I used Lantern on that abandoned Crystal run, but all new, baby. So now we're stunned. Alright, cool. We caught another new Pokemon! Ah! Alright, there's Hoppip. Real quick. Hoppip evolves at 18 and then the Jumpluff at 17. Perfect. So I just need to catch 2 more and then level one of them up once and one of them up twice. Wayfish. Cottonweed. You can just catch skip them here? Really? Oh yeah, Route 14. That's the one I didn't check. That'll do it! Sorry for the disrespect, Pharaohs. Ah! Ellen! Alright, Ellen, I do not want to acknowledge you. Very successfully blocked. If you train them in a place that they remember, if you know what he's talking about, that makes sense, but I could see that maybe being a little easy to misinterpret. Need a berry. Reno. Did you move? Oh, you're the one that trades for Aerodactyl. Okay. It's a 1% encounter here. I could see her getting that desperate, based on our last chance encounters. Hey, look at that. It is rather quaint. I'm quite fond of it. Ah. Yeah, Sanrio's right. I'm fairly sure. Ah, no, wait. No. Alright, it's Ultra Ball time. Alright, let's see where this is going to go. I have a full restore. I might consider burning one at this point. Just because we didn't delete 4 apparently. Why were you hovering over Master Ball? No! Whew! Ah! What are we doing? No. Alright, 3 sleeps in a row. What are we doing with our lives right now? Hmm? That's just desperation. Haha! Alright. I'm in I don't care mode. Screw you. Let's come back. I could just go back to the Hobbit, but now it's like personal. Now I've like sunk cost into this, you see. Two can play the put to sleep game. I thought about it. I thought about not going mouse hunt on this thing. We're gonna go mouse hunt on this thing. Game's trying to help me out here. There we go. Alright, now you're asleep. Ah! Huh. Much easier. Boom! Practically catching Pokemon in the stream. Skip Bloom. Now we just need to do that again. As soon as it rains, it closes its flower and hides in the shades of a tree to avoid getting wet. Mode. So yeah, it did just kind of give up, didn't it? We're getting there. Hmm? Oh, perfect. Ah. Now all we have to do is raise it. Huh. We have a rare candy, but I don't want to use it. Especially not on Skipple. It's just like, you know, that's like we're raising up Tyranitar and we just need to be over tier. These are both here. How much experience do you need? 1,534. Basically nothing. Wait. Okay. We don't need a max ether right now. Frankly, we don't even need an ether. I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna use a max repel right now. I'm gonna use that. Saving our berries for something. Oh. Oh. We're at to get 56. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now that we've done that, I guess we should see what this is. TM maybe? PP up, never mind. Oh wait, what's your prized Pokemon? Oh, well that makes sense. AC's going on, be warned. A little hot in here. It is quite in the young green, isn't it? Hmm, 200. Charmander, we can send out Lantern. Oh my god, he's cute! What the heck? Oh, I wanted to look at his... Oh, that's also cute. Alright, Skipple and Trial by Fire. This could work. Oh, wait. No, That's leech seed. Does not absorb. Doesn't work at all. Never mind. Go back in, Lantern. Oh. So it got half of the split from Lantern, but then it got the other actual half. Weird. XP share is kind of funky, huh? That's something I would have liked to have done at some point, but it's never done. It was just kind of trading all the starters to yourself and doing like a weird anime run or something, right? One of those guys in this room is a bunch of king Pokemon. Intriguing. Please don't use self-destruct on me. There's an ad starting soon, by the way. Just to throw it out there. I could have done more damage. That did more damage. Gosh darn it! That's acceptable, I guess. Could throw out Caesar, I guess, but whatever. Guys, please give me a hype chat. Thank you. I need hype chats. If I can get 5 hype chats before stream ends, I'll find a reason to keep going. Oh, Lantern. Wait, no. Yeah. Oopsie. Yo, you don't know what hype chats are, dude. Hype chats are so cool, dude. It's super chats. You spend money and your message floats up there. That's all they are. It's like the YouTube super chats. I think that's what they call them. Ooh, that was quick. Yeah, they're trying to do something like that. I don't really know. God bless them for announcing something new, though. I got a skip wound. That's really all I have to say about that. I did it. Alright, so we'll mark that off. Alright, it's done on my website now. If it was nighttime, we could get a Quagsire here. So I kind of have a thought. Well, for one, before I forget. Alright, we saved our game. Solved that pretty easy, huh? 5% fee. Yo! Nice! It's partner only right now, and I feel like that's... I don't know. Kind of where it makes the most sense, at least. In the sad content way, where it's like, oh, I gotta pay to make sure they see me. Actually, I remember it's more about the support, but I know for some people it is just, I literally need to be seen and will spend money. Ah. There's not a single goddamn thought going on in that head. Alright. Quagsire has a male and female form. So this is a female. Hi-oh! Another one down, baby! Ho, 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 ho! God bless us for making progress this time. Checking some analytics real quick, don't mind me, because I can't wait 2 hours to look at that. Okay, we're good. So we should get the male one while we're here, right? Well, it's easy. Oh no. It fled. Boy. There we go. Oh! I love not having to worry about shit in the future. Let's go! At some point we'll double back for a male whooper. Awesome sauce. Let's go ahead and throw the XP share back on here across. The Twitch YouTube stuff's weird. I just want one of them to curb stomp the other. Not out of existence. Clearly the competition's a good thing. It's working, right? They're copying each other's features very slowly. And it's just so slow. I just want like a more decisive, like, boom moment that they both have to react to. They're both just kind of circling the drain. I need more excitement, dang it. Oh. Damn, okay. That's not bad. You know, it was weird when they tried to react to copyright back then. I can't even imagine trying to do that in today's modern internet where everyone is just incredibly mean all the time.
Don't worry, Spyro. I won't be needing any more of your money.
Yo, Mykonos. How are you doing? This is Joey. Got a minute? How are your Pokemon doing?
Horribly.
My Rattatar's looking sharper than before. I doubt there's a Pokemon as cool as this guy in your party. P.S. Spider says hi from TMG. Alright, later. Click.
Sulking. Thank you, Joey. My party's miserable compared to that. Look at that guy. What a Chad. I wish there was too many games to see all the havoc Joey must be wreaking. I know he's out there Joeying real hard. God bless him. I've realized that, like, I'm just apparently just meant to... You know, magnets, there's one side they connect and the other side they just constantly push each other away. Like, have you ever had two toy trains with magnets on them, like Thomas the Tank Engines? There's some people that I'm just like that with, apparently. It's Joey and it's Spider Knife, especially. Because we keep flip-flopping, like, years we're at places that we both go to, and I just keep not seeing either of them. So that's the determination I've just made. Oh, too many games is fun. I heard the convention's really big this year. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing at this point. I feel like that could really go either way. I'm glad out of all the things that Kanto cut down, this weird nonsense somehow either stayed the same or got even more elaborate. I just remember something I got that I can show off. It finally came. Thanks to, we were talking about everyone giving people money. Thanks to everyone for being nice on Twitch and watching all the ads and shit. I got a Game Boy operator. Look at that. This will read saves? Back them up. I think it can write saves depending on the cartridge. Opens up an MGBA instance on your computer. It's a siren outside, that's unusual. I moved all my Game Boy cartridges around. I was gonna pop one in just to show it off. Let's go into a thing. Actually, what I was going to do today was stream going through all my Game Boy cartridges and showing what was on them. But as I was taking a quick peek, make sure it worked, I realized that A, all my Gen 2 saves are gone, which makes sense. The only one I really have to show anything off with was Fire Red. Look at my blue version and how non-complete it is. This thing lights up when it's plugged in, but yeah. Real neat. We'll show this off more when we get to Ruby or Sapphire, whichever one winds up winning that poll. But I just wanted to say thank you. Wouldn't have this thing without people's generosity. So thank you. We'll be using it for Gen 3 when we get there. And now I'll put that right there. Oh, yes. While we're distracted. That's part of my set. I just realized this guy's team is going to be six Pikachu. This is for all of our safety. Okay. Wow. What does this sign say? Oh. Look, right there at the left side of the post. Which one? This feels like a trick. Oh! That was exciting. Yeah, the pacing will be interesting as we go along through this, that's for sure. Silence Bridge. Nothing in Gen 1 called a Silence Bridge, right? Yeah, it's weird. I feel like the pacing... I feel like that's already shown itself true with this one, honestly. We've, oh, he's green. We've mentioned the Johto distribution, but even then... I don't remember it being, like, much better in Gen 4, right? There's still a lot of old Pokemon along the way. Well, it is better in Gen 4, I shouldn't say that. But I do remember it being quite an interesting pacing. You beat me with your speed. The original starting town in Gen 2 was Silent Hill. Yeah, there is no bird on the R. Justin Munn's right. Weird. Alright, Pidgeotto. Figured with the Arcanine breathe for a second there. Alright. Goodness gracious. 12? I don't think there's anything here, but I'll check just to be safe. Nah, usual suspects. Alright, cool. Just gotta try not to leave. Oh. Why are there 2 calciums on this route? Barney. I guess we can throw a lantern out and use electricity, why not? I'm in the Zelda depths exploring, too busy to spell check. Mood. Mostly his favorite things from Sonic this year so far. I feel like I need to look at a list. what's topping so far is probably Lego Eggman abducting a Lego employee and shaving his head. That was pretty good. I was quite fond of that. If not that, honestly, Sonic Superstars announcement in general? I don't, that's an easy answer. That'll probably wind up being my favorite thing this year. Oh, his house is still here. Least favorite? This is a symptom. It's not Sonic Prime's fault, so I don't blame it for this. But this whole Netflix episodic thing, again, not the show's fault. I'm just like, I just wish we could not have it delivered this way, because the show doesn't seem to benefit from it. I think it's mostly my problem with it. Like, I am an impatient person, that is part of it, but even then, I just don't think there was like a really good hook at the end of that 8th episode, like a really good hook to justify how long the wait has been. Again, there's a lot of reasons why it's this way, you know. That's probably my least favorite thing. I'm just like, alright. I don't want to keep fighting fish Pokemon. I guess I do. Oh god, the Knuckles show, right. Okay, well, if the Knuckles show is the right kind of stupid, Superstars may have some contention for my favorite thing, actually. Because I feel like the Knuckles show could be the right kind of stupid, that'd be right up my alley. So I'm kind of holding out, actually, for that. Of course, the guy, I was like, we can do another fight. This is all magic harps, like, of course. Oh, hold on. There you go, look at that. It's fun. Prime is fun. I really like the cast on it. If you keep in mind the characters are kind of, you know, they're not entirely game accurate, right? Which you might not even care about, so hey. But I think it's fun, right? It's a multiverse story, but it's fun. When I watched it, I was like enjoying the time I was spending watching it. Like, it's really good to just have on the background, if nothing else, you know? This isn't a cynical suggestion, this is just like something I think is just true, but like it feels like a great show to bring kids into after the movies, right? Like if they saw the movie and started liking Sonic, that feels like a great next step kind of show. So that's cool. Alright, we gotta get reversal. But yeah, to like actually judge that show, I need more of it to come out and actually know what the heck where it's going? I'm gonna guess nowhere particularly interesting, but I still gotta try to give the benefit of the doubt, just because I don't know. But I see people, I mean, people are allowed to judge what they saw, obviously. I'm not trying to say that they can't, but it's like starting the first season of a show, getting a third of the way through, enjoying it, but then writing the whole thing off. I'm like, that's not smart. We gotta see. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll have the entire actual first season to watch. I don't know. It feels like an alright show that would just be better to watch more of in a smaller time span and forget about it, than watch chunks of it in large gaps and forget it 3 different times. You know what I mean? There also has nothing characters. I can understand that. The baby got a little too much focus for me. In a situation where the baby feels like a good once in a while kind of gag. The old one was old. I kind of like the gamer Eggman and the what would you call him? The leader alternate Eggman. I like them enough. I just... I guess they were kind of nothing characters, huh? It's kind of, I don't know, they're a little Deadly Sixian, I guess, if you think about it. But I like that, I don't know. Shoot, that's a good point, actually. I don't have Netflix anymore. I used my girlfriend's Netflix, and now the password lock thing is in effect, so I can talk her into watching 8 more episodes of Sonic Prime with me. Alright, let's go to a gym. I think I like Sad AM more, but when I watch it, I don't let myself think of it as a Sonic cartoon. If I did, I would probably like it less. Which is probably sacrilegious to anyone that grew up with that show and very much considers it Sonic. But to me, I'm just like, ah, okay. I guess FTCR guys were just kind of watching it sometimes when we hung out. And it's like, I was kind of getting into it, but yeah, I wouldn't rank it too highly. For me, it was... I like Boom, which also it helped when I didn't think of it as a Sonic show. Right. I think the one edge I'd give Prime is that when I look at it, I'm like, that feels like a Sonic show. That's one where I actually am like, alright, this one feels like a Sonic cartoon. I was never a Sonic X fan, so... Can you scan it from your cable company or phone provider? Interesting. One way to find out. Never got rid of Jump Pluff. That wouldn't be a bad idea, huh? I should use Sword Dance, huh? Oh, it worked! Let's go! Oh, so close. I guess I don't need the XP share on Heracross anymore, huh? I can put it back on him, but he has reversal. He can probably hold his own now, right? Right? Alright, next Jump Pluff gone. Forgot about the Quagsire. Okay, hold on. I'm dumb. The voice cast changed in general. I was just a dumb kid. I don't know. I was just really attached to Sonic characters, and even like going from SA1 to SA2, I know this tail sounded different. So I was already beginning to get a little averse to voice cast changes. which is a dirty subject thanks to how extreme some people have taken such a statement over the years. Yeah, when I got to Sonic X, I was just like, everyone sounds weird and acts different. I don't know, I don't like it. I still watch some of it because it was Sonic, you know, right? But, wasn't for me, clearly. Alright, we got some options here. Meganium. Pilot's Wine in case we need a ground move. That feels like the right move for now. Oh god, the hero's jump. Tails' hero voice? Oh. Never a fan. There's ads in 10 seconds. Look out. By the way. Wait, did it work? Are we back? No, we're not. Weird. My head's spinning! That's all I remember. I fell for that trick for a second. I was like, oh, sir? Okay. Hero's Tail. No, thank you. Need to clean out those boobies. I still remember my dad's face when I was playing Pokemon Stadium. You know, when you send out Nidoqueen, she goes kinda... shakes her torso around. I just think of my dad's face every time I see Nidoqueen now. When he saw that happening, I had to be like, no, it's not weird. I'm 7 and I have to defend my interests. It's not weird. Promise. Barry? Oh my god. It was a choice for Vector to say that. And to mention in his theme song, and he's like, you'd have to have brain damage. And they bring in Vector for that phrase. You know, the singer's doing it, but then they're like, hold on. Make Vector say it and put that in the song too. It's like, what? Huh? Foo. Oh, it's actually her. Oh, we were talking about Vector the Crocodile. You know how it goes. That's our first Crobat spotted this playthrough, if I recall correctly. Fire Emblem is out. I got to chapter 3 in half an hour, which feels pretty brisk for modern game pacing. I was impressed. Granted, those were tutorial maps, but you know. Oh, that's bad, actually. Wait. We don't need that happening. Okay. Not a fan of that. Just gonna heal. Koga had one? Oh. Never mind. That shows how much I remember. One down. Hmm? What are we doing? Okay, that didn't do too much. We're good. Well, I think I can imagine what this Weezing is gonna do. Right. Why am I not using Steel Wing? It's a great question. I don't really have a good answer for it. I have an answer, but it's a dumb answer, so I'm not going to say it and incriminate myself. Let's go with that. There we go. Banana Officer Ace. Guess that makes sense, right? Ah! We did it! And we don't get any of the XP from the other fights. Woo! Here's Soul Badge. Take it. Oh, we got Toxic. Can we still? Yeah, how will I ever do it? I feel like the next play for Umbreon. Did that play Toxic and Moonlight? Is Moonlight a move in Gen 2? That way you can just hang on forever and draw it out. Okay, so what I need to do... I didn't wind up using Palace Wine. Sorry, guy. I was thinking Meganium for the Swim the Cinnabar, but a lot of it's going to be part Poison Tentacles. Let's keep using Caesar. Just keeps working. Level 52. We got the 5th gym badge, Nick. What the heck? Oh, here. I think this is an area that got cut down, right? Oh yeah. Wait, no one knows? Oh my gosh. Alright, you can't even do it. Okay, so this is an incident that just happened in game, right? On the one hand, it's kind of sad to see things get trimmed down. On the other hand, it's interesting to see how they tackled the problems too. Like, that's a war reason there now. Coral Islands, great question. Definitely before any Elite Four rematches or fights with Red, right? So it's... That's quicker to fly. No, you're not Togetic. You're Togetic. There we go. The 3DS thing is something I need to stop forgetting about. Yeah, I need to pop the save back into the 3DS and make sure we can activate this quest. It's going to be really awkward if we can't. Alright, we're gonna have bug types here. So I feel like as long as I can pop it in and get the GS ball, then I should be good to pop the save back to here and continue. Uncharted territory, because I really, from everything that was indicated online, it would just work if I pop the save into the simulator, so we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, that sore neck for like 2 days now. Very fun. Just tired, yeah. There's a trainer. I wish I knew, Doug. You need to use the hex editor to append some code to the end of the game's file. Here's the thing. I think I bookmarked a website that'll do that for me. I'll need to look into that. So otherwise it's like 16 lines of like zeros you append or something like that. AC's going back on, by the way. Audio's about to get bad. Something I didn't process when I got this shirt. Real happy about it. Long sleeve. Summertime. So I'm rocking the drip. But at what cost? Bug catcher Rob, you say? Things I do to be a Yakuza fan. I was whipped. Elixir. Okay. I like that they brought him back. Could have not been here, especially after all the glitch troubles. But he's here. I like it. The club for top trainer battles. Oh. I see. Okay, so... the newest and most happening place in Viridian. I think we'll mess with that some other time. Imagine a Gen 1 remake where you can find Hoot Hoot on Route 1. Good luck, Nick. Good luck having a birthday party. I hope the spin dash is good. Can I fight you? I can fight you. I'll view you in a like. I hit the enjoy your gaming button. It didn't play. Oh Lord. Electabuzz. Amazing to think we're only 9 levels away from a cool Heracross. We're getting there. Good Lord, we're getting there! Take that, Danny. That's what you get for having good Pokemon on Route 1. You give me a potion? Oh. Hopefully it's soon. Something I've been putting off. I've heard Tracker TD made a good physics mod for Frontiers, and I kind of want to mess with it. Like, I'm not unhappy with the way Frontiers plays, but I've heard it's like a lot of people's preferred way to play the game now, so I'm like, maybe that's worth trying. So if it's like that good, and we get a spin dash jump at some point after this, start to get kinda hard to ignore, you know? Oh, Venusaur hung in and got burned. Oh, that's unfortunate. And you used your move on Sweet Scent. Oh, how sad. Rest in peace. Starmie, we can use Meganium. Look at that. Oh. Meganium! This is your first appearance in so long. You can't do it like this. Ah. I was wondering what this was, this here, and I was like, oh, that's weird. It took me a minute to realize it's... I was a natural blonde. If you hear any like revving noises, the kid with the motorbike is back at it, so if you hear any weird sounds that aren't the air conditioner, that's what's up with that. Take that, Meganium enemy Starmie. I would also like that Nubatron. It would be respectful of them to do it. Over here in Pokemon Go Land, we're using these Megas like crazy. Mega Rayquazas debuting in like a month. Over in Pokemon Go Land, we got them. But anywhere else, well, Masters. Mainline, those boys are gone. It'd be nice to have some kind of bone thrown. Red's house? I'm in Red's room. We just played this video game. It's a little sad to come in here. He doesn't talk to his mom, the computer's not used. It's like, goodness gracious. Alan! Man, his radio station doesn't even play across the mountain back home. Oh, it's not even a live broadcast, right? My man's hosting content. He's a hype beast fiend. I don't remember what he gives you for getting all the badges. I actually forgot that was the thing. Like how he's much more familiar with you though, right? Like he actually talks with you a little instead of just being like, tell me about your Pokédex. I will rate it. Big fan of Pokemon characters getting to be characters now and then. Let's see, Route 21. Tangela, Mr. Mime. Yeah. You can fish up a lantern here at level 40 with a super rod. It's not bad. Hate Mr. Rhyme? Oh. Poor Mr. Rhyme. I'm sure someone likes him. I think I like him. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've processed Mr. Rhyme. Looks like Andrew Tate. That doesn't even make sense. You're just saying stuff now. At least the Pokemon Center is still functioning here. Oh, it's been a year. Okay, so the people in Fuchsia are just out of touch, I guess. Because they were like, gosh, I hope everyone's okay. It's like, well, I think you know. You fool? Oh, Nobatron's got that European thing going. Out here in the States, I can't get a Mime Jr. to pop out of an egg. Once or twice a year, they'll have an event. It's like, alright, they're global. And so, yeah. Still can't hatch one. That's one like 4 Sinnoh Pokemon I'm missing in Go. That meddling red did me in. Anyway, what do you want? You can kind of see what they were thinking with Hoenn a little bit here. And plot-wise, the force of nature and all that. You can kind of see some seeds here, maybe. My man's all depressed. And then he fucks off. Since I have a super rod, it's an organic time to get 2 Remoraid from another file. I still need to start my second file, not gonna lie. Now, I know they fucked over Cinnabar Island for cartridge space reasons, but maybe it was also a little bit of vengeance. Just for that specific strip there. It was a shiny and you were still disappointed. Oh, that's sad. But I can also understand it. It is Mime Jr. That has to be an annoying one to have as your regional exclusive in Europe, though. Because I'm pretty sure... I have to imagine they have Mime Jr. and Pokemon Go eggs year-round. Just to try to incentivize people to visit. As if people would do that for Pokemon Go that aren't YouTubers. But... imagine if you live there. Yeah, you're kind of like, alright, there's something else here already. But alas... Pokemon Go. I forgot he was in the Seafoam Islands until I was on my way over here. Like, I remembered Cinnabar burned down, but I thought the gym was still up for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it's so sad! There's not even a guy to talk to. Oh. I don't even know how to acknowledge anything you just said, really. It's got the drip though, look at him. It's got slip-on sneakers. Or slippers. You can see a little bit of foot down there. My man's showing. Gosh, visiting Europe. After I rob a bank, I'll be right over. Everyone thanks Sonic now! Is Clef Key only in France in Pokemon Go? Oh my god. What are we doing? Oh, I'm a yawn boy right now. I don't know why I'm a yawn boy. I'm okay, Sir Chu. How are you? I've just been busy lately. Not a bad problem to have. Oh! Crit hit, let's go! Alright, alright. Sunny day. Did Harry show me the picture of Chip? I don't think so. Unless it was posted overnight. I may have missed the overnight stuff. I look at my server when I wake up, which isn't a good thing to do because I always read about it and then forget everything I read. 46, okay. Awesome! I've burned out!
Don't worry, Spyro. I won't be needing any more of your money.
Saving throws, thank you. Appreciate that. What's up? Ah, well, that was the 7th gym. That was pretty easy. I'll send some to Mom. Thank you, saving throws. You're streaming Unleashed, and you said to face chipmunks when you get a D rank. Looks like you took a really bad shit. Hold on. Hold on. Sonic Unleashed D rank. Evolution of worst rank in Sonic 2001 to 2022. What?
Don't worry, Spyro. I won't be needing any more of your money.
I gotta look into why that happens every time I switch scenes. But it sure does happen every time I switch scenes, huh? So these are Wii version. I'm guessing Harry would have been streaming HD? This is an old crusty video. This is a really bad one to pick actually. Hold on. Alright, we get it. You're Sonic. Okay. I don't not see it. Didn't know Harry was cracking poopy jokes. Oh boy. I remember as a kid, I got that line of dialogue and he was like, Cinnabar's gonna rebuild! Never happened, obviously. Well, that was that. Maybe the key on the change scene is also to replay last alert. I can check that real quick. Not on the surface. Weird. I have stream elements. This feels like something I'll probably need to look into every single page on a stream elements site to figure out. Let's speed up this girl's Pokemon real quick. Hi. It was a look, Pokemon Let's Go confuses me. I'm just gonna put it that way. I was thinking about the timeline when it comes to all the games that have happened in Kanto. And like obviously we never see past Johto. Or we never see a Johto past this point in the timeline, I guess I should say, right? And yes, I am talking about the Pokemon timeline. But I guess it's debatable though, because Let's Go doesn't happen at the time of Kanto. It's a remake of Kanto. But it doesn't happen at the same time. It happens an indeterminate amount of time after when it would have happened, because Red and Blue go off and become champion, right? Like they're an existing, established champion. They go through an arc of the story that is not this. The Team Rocket stuff doesn't happen until you play the game in Let's Go. As whatever character, I know the rival's name is like Trace or something. I don't know, it's weird. I guess that Cinnabar doesn't blow up is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna send out Meganium. Didn't know you're watching a David Worker stream. We're out here. It's probably a little busy Sonic Origins plussing it up, but Ori is the earliest in the timeline. It's been so long since I've played them. Can't think of any reason it couldn't be. Well, it's been so long since I played Coliseum, I didn't even play XD. can't swim up that way. Gosh, heck it. Chimbus was there. Chimbus knows what's up. Ooh. I'd like to replay them. Oh, replay Coliseum and play XD. Very likely in the cards at some point. Just gotta manage when. I don't want to burn out on Pokemon. But I would like to. XD apparently get a massive texture pack for Dolphin. I'd like to look at that. If I'm thinking about it though, now that I've got that GB operator, if I were to do it, I'd probably do it on GameCube or Wii, so I could actually connect out to my games, right? Which I guess I could do through Dolphin. GBA emulator support, right? I'll look into that sometime. So much is possible with emulators of Pokemon now that I'm like, I've lost track. The game designed to protect and Coliseum to the Monster designs for a lot of tokusatsu shows. That sounds like a fact that Goldstorm and AEW would either know about or appreciate. I had no idea. My instinct was to ask which ones, but I knew I wouldn't know them. Unless it's literally, hey, this is Ultraman. I know what Ultraman looks like, but the rest of them just kind of go over my head. Oh, 39 tentacles. Goodness. So Super Sentai and Common Rider monsters. Gotcha. Let's let everyone get experience now. Or their full experience, I should say. I don't remember if this is still a ground gym under blue, or if it's just kind of a general gym. Interested to remember. An extensive ROM hack in the video thumbnail was a high quality render, so you misunderstood. Ah, I see. That'll do her. That'd be cool though. We're look, not to be pessimistic, we're never getting a remaster of those games. Ever. So that would be cool. Alright, so this is just a blue fight then. Alright. I wasn't in the mood at Cinnabar. I was thinking about death and sadness and shit. Johto's gyms must be pretty pathetic. Leader Blue. Wow, that's cool. I picked the wrong first Pokemon. There's a silly fan theory going around for fun that kind of makes me chuckle. That I don't remember it, so I can't present it well. But it's something where it's like, what if this were like Lego pieces, which they aren't, but they were like the Pokeballs he's caught because he's went around and caught all the Pokemon he can. The only ones he's missing are the starters he couldn't pick and the birds and Mewtwo and Mew. But I went and counted them, bro. And it's like, what? Oh. Alright. What? I'll take it over his eradicate dying theory, right? But I was like, what? Oh wait, he's level 56? Hold on. Hold on. There's one down. I wouldn't want this any other way. I just definitely completely forgot about it. It's been so long since I went through Johto, man. Die! Oh, it worked. Let me see if I can find this. Find videos on it. The blocks in the gym are not actually blocks at all, but instead they are shelves storing Pokeballs. That would mean a whopping 224 Pokeballs. Assuming each ball contains a unique Pokemon, there are 27 unaccounted for. How? Well, Blue wouldn't have the 11 legendaries from Gen 1 and 2, the 9 Johto starters, or the unknowns. That goal is solved. Accounting for the ones in this party, that's a total of 251 Pokemon caught by Blue. Share this fact and tell us. That wasn't a good theory at all. Why did I remember that? 56 to 58. Here's a ghosting rid of my guy who was heavily inspired by the Turtle Monster guy. That makes sense. Interesting. Still, that's a bit of a resume there. Don is thick. Oh, couldn't tank it though. Oh, that's what I like to see. Wait, you're not Lantern. Oh, God, this isn't going to go well. Oh. Okay, that could have went worse. My Arcanine's better than your Arcanine. No, I'm not that cool. This fight's a bit trying. I'm liking it. I mean, granted, most of my team's still doing pretty good, but you know, it's threatening if nothing else. One's gonna be Alakazam. So that feels like Umbreon time. And it leaves what? Blastoise? Gyarados. Oh. I want him to disable Faint Attack between the two, so I'm going to use that. And he has recovered. Ah! I'm thinking strategy, right? I was like, oh, Heracross is Fury Cutter. But he's part fighting, so he would just destroy it while I set up. Enjoying Umbreon's complete resistance to anything he has. But... Swords Dance Caesar? Maybe? Shame about our speed or good chance making him flinch. Critical hit. There it is. I'm just kind of also enjoying just watching it do whatever the hell it's doing. This is what Gen 1 Uber metagame matches are like? Oh dear god. It's excruciating. Huh? Oh! Fuck you! You did, Umbreon. Oh yeah, it's Gyarados, look at that. This is gonna have Hyper Beam, isn't it? Goodness gracious. Holy moly. That didn't take it out? Oh my gosh. Okay. New strategy. You know, let's try it. Why not? There it is. Okay. But like... Oh, Hydro Pump. I should have known that'd be the other move. Gosh dang it! What the heck? Pull up. I may be able to brute force this. This may actually work still. Well. Alright. I wasn't expecting him to get all 3 hydro pumps in a row that he just did, but he did. My original idea was Umbreon to tank it. Shit, I thought I'm toxic. What am I doing? Ah! This isn't okay. On the bright side, the rain stopped. Bro! Twister? I guess that makes sense. I just forgot it existed. Alright, this was fun. We're gonna win now, though. GG, Gyarados. GG. That was a good challenge. Made it a little harder through my own stupidity, but that's the way it goes here. Earth badge! You're the real deal. Thanks, Blue. It's a good final gym fight in this game. Red is predominantly in the... Great question. Late 60s, 70s? I know his Pikachu's like 82 or 83. He might just be all 70s aside from that, actually. Oh no, I was wrong. Ah, okay, well, that's something I'll grind off stream for. Goodness. Okay. I am thinking, for one thing, I'd like that to work. Oh, right, I didn't heal them yet. I guess that would be the case. It's working. Wait, what? Okay. I defaulted to my own stupidity being the issue, but actually for once I was in the right. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. You don't need to be high 50s to deal with him because of the badge stat boost being so chunky. Gens 1, 2. For my own sake, I'll probably still beef up some off stream, but that's good to know. Is there Lego Pokemon? I think they partnered up with one of the non-Lego Lego brands. I have to go talk to Oak first. My guilt for constantly asking everything I need to know hit me, so I was just silently like, I'm gonna Google this instead of bothering people to do the work for me. But then I got back and everyone already answered it. Okay. Okie. Okie poo. Micro blocks. What the heck are they? Micro blocks didn't make sense. Hi! I killed your son. I forgot that his gift was just opening up the way to Mount Silver. It's kind of like the original Area Zero, bro. You're like, you're not even allowed to go in there, dude. So I guess my thought, you know, coming up on 8, imagine most here will want to check out that Frontiers update. I kind of do. I go catch a couple sneezing.
Ice is nice.
Oh, like Coral. Hello. How's it going? You caught me just as I was planning on ending the stream shortly. Great timing. Yeah, I was thinking we'll go catch a couple Sneasel. Maybe 4. Since I kind of need 4. And then step into Mount Silver, see if Larvitar is easy to find. Guessing there's also some fights out here, right? Sneasels and Ice Path. Oh, wait. That's right, we're in Crystal. That's one of those things that changed in Crystal and I forgot all about it. We already got a Sneasel. We got a female one. Well, hold on. It's not easy being this dumb, let me tell you. Alright. Nothing outside here then. Swap over so you can see what I'm looking at. Larvitar is a 5% encounter morning and day in the first 4. 5% encounter second 4. With Ursaring available. Mischievous is at night. That's one. Item chambers 30%. Okay. They can get a 1% chance of catching a level 22 Patar. Ah, you're doing good? That's good. I am doing quite well, I have to say. Thank you for asking. Aside from looking dumb on stream all the time. No trainers here? Alright, so what is mosey on in then? This is kind of one of your places to grind, right? Guess Elite 4 is more efficient, but some of the highest level wild Pokemon I can remember here. Oh, that's sad. 823. Oh yeah. Only the strongest trainers can go here. Anyway, there's an old lady at the Pokemon Center. Ah. Alright. So we're on the Larvitar in Mischievous Hunt then. Oh, Mischievous is Ghost. I gotta figure out something to do with that. Also, I guess technically Larvitar resists our False Swipe, but I think that will go easier. dash. Chekhov's gun makes a return late in the game. Where are you, Bellsprout? There you are. Thank you. At least we get this nice music track. Dun, dun, dun. That. Can't escape. Always mean look. Okay. Happily fast forwarding through that. Cave routine and cave escape rope. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. 648 for defeating an Onyx. Graveler's annoying to grind against because he uses self-destruct. Ultra Ball, okay. So for as few times as I've replayed Gen 2 over the years, all the way through, Mount Silver is the one thing I don't really go through and make myself do. I think I've only ever beaten Red twice or thrice ever for as many times as I delete my save and start over. Not counting Heart Gold, Soul Silver. But even then, that's probably only another time or two also. So I don't get here that often. Alright, so we're at night. We can only really find Mischievous right now. Which I guess makes putting Caesar up front a little silly. Okay, this is too far. I saw the multiple steps up and I was like, wait, that's not the way to him, surely. It's not him right there. There's poke animals, yeah. Oh, 46 Parasite. Make sure I'm still in the right area here. 2, 4. Parasite 15% chance. Mischievous 5%. Okay. So I need to try to get to an item chamber for an easy Mischievous catch. Oh no, he's just right here. Yeah, there's a Palkan DX on Switch. Should you ever want it. You monster. You absolute monster. Oh, we can't recall either. Gosh, heck it. There he is! Alright, so this is the summit area. Let me check on the summons, or encounters here real quick. Pupitar, Larvitar here, no Mischievous, so I need to head back. What are we qualifying as item chambers? Great. So many vitamins in here. Is this an item chamber? This is an item chamber. Full restore. Okay. I remember there being a lot more. To Mount Silver than this, man. There it is. Such a cool Pokemon to tuck at the very last pocket of the game. Alright, let's see. I don't think there's any gender differences for Mischievous, right? Like, I just need 2? I just need 2. Just to see what happens. Critical hit. So that could work, maybe. Alright, so he can, in turn, can handle the Pokemon in here a little better. Let's lead with that. That's Arcanine. What am I doing? Can't wait to get the more detailed sprites in Gen 3. That and a PC system are the main things I'm looking forward to. Favorite Pokemon. I think he got to design, or they got to design, I actually don't know much about them. But I think they got to come back and design Fluttermane in Scarlet Violet. That was kind of cool. I remember reading up on that. Nasty. What a mean thing to do. That's closer to red. Oh boy. I guess poison powder won't affect Mischievous. Let's just throw an Ultra Ball and see what happens. Worth a shot. Lantern's healing up though, I tell you. Battlers shared pain. Pure Ghost? Maybe poison powder would work? Oh! Okay. Oh, that was a critical hit? That didn't do much. Oh. Whew. There's Mischievous caught. Okay. Update that on the spreadsheet. Mischievous marked as caught. Ooh. Now we just gotta do that again. It loves to watch people. It's scared. It is scared. It frightens them by screaming loudly or appearing suddenly. Great Pokemon! Especially when that's Sprite. Big fan of that. Oh, hey. Okay, let's find another. Sup? Female one. Okay. How many shakes are we getting? 1, 2, 3. Close. And there's Pain Split. What's up, everybody? Hey. My computer blue screened, so that's 2 weeks in a row. If I had to guess, and I don't like this guess, but if I had to guess, it might be the one thing throwing things out of sync is PokeLink, what I use to track the team stuff. So maybe that's the thing. I don't know. Twitch is on the ball. They're ready to show an ad already. Let's gosh, let's see. Yeah, let's play. When did I last bother to save? I thought I was saving often. The one I just loaded in is where I started the stream at, so I'm hoping that's not the one. Properties, that. It doesn't recognize my controller unless I start the software before I open it. Alright. That's not good. I would consider that verifiably not good. Import battery file. Well, it's not the one I would like it to be using. I was gonna make a joke about save stating that Mischievous. but I didn't. This is where we started today. Poopy! There's a split in the timeline now. Ah! Oh, okay. Let me think. Yeah, I think that's GG's, as the kids say. I did some manual saves, and that should have saved to the battery save, and it just didn't. Weird. That should have been like the failsafe backup is doing that. Unless it went somewhere else, and I'm clicking around, but don't believe it did. Pokemon Crystal, 6:37 p.m. It's currently 7:58. And that's the one I'm opening now. Yeah. We lost it. Heck. One more thing I can try. This won't work, but just in case. I'm opening up an MGBA. Just in case there's like a weird thing going on there. Crystal. Load state file? No, this won't be it. Where's this go? Here we are. I don't know why it says that 6:37 p.m. because I think that that's when we started. Yep, that's in. Swap over so you can see. Where I'm at. Welcome to MGBA. I remember Umbreon being level 39 when I started. Heracross is level 40. We have 13 badges. That's why I'm pretty sure this is the start of the stream. I guess the way to check would be Hoppip was the first one we caught. Oh, that sucks. Oh no, it sucks so bad. Okay, well, thanks everyone for hanging out. Sorry that it all went bad. I guess I will manually save more. I guess for future reference. Still archive this. Probably keep it unlisted somewhere, but yeah. No, wait, no, I'll still... No. I'll put this up still, because I'll just play off stream until I catch up. Yeah, so, yeah. On the bright side, the Sonic Frontiers update should be out, so we can all go do that. Thanks everyone for hanging out, though. It was a good time. Aside from that, I had a good time. Alright, I need to remember to undo those ticks. Is anyone on I can hand y'all to? Not quite. Okay, I'll just hop off. Alright, have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna make dinner. Enjoy your gaming.